If you had grown up loving dinosaurs, you are likely very well aware of this show, Prehistoric Park. For those of you who aren't in the know, Prehistoric Park is a 6-episode docuseries that follows Nigel Marvin as he goes back in time to rescue animals that have been long extinct. Everyone, myself included, loved this series. The entire concept of a wildlife adventurer interacting with the prehistoric animals sounds like a load of fun, and the perfect setting for a documentary essentially. But now that the show is almost 17 years old, son of a gun, how well does it hold up? Does the science still work? Are the effects dated? Is it as entertaining as we all remember? That's what I plan to find out. So let's go back in time to the distant year of 2006 and take a look at this iconic dino doc.
Welcome to the ultimate wildlife sanctuary. Welcome to Prehistoric Park.
So the most important thing with a documentary is, of course, accuracy. They need to be presenting information in a educational manner that needs to hold up to a certain standard because people go into documentaries expecting to learn. Prehistoric Park suffers from what I like to call science marches on itis, because paleontology is a tricky science. We do not have the advantage of being able to observe these animals as they were, so what we can really do is just kind of take the evidence that we have and make our best educated assumptions from that material. And because of this, a lot of information can change over time. And so a documentary that came out in 2006 will likely be outdated by today's standards. A few examples of this are dinosaurs that are not feathered that would almost definitely be feathered by today's standards, such as the ornithomimous flock. They would all definitely have feathers. Or the coloration on the Microraptor. It had more of a crow-like iridescent shine on it rather than the black and white, although the black is a step in the right direction with the colors, so it's honestly not too far off. Or the Troodon simply existing. Troodon is not a valid genus anymore. But unfortunately, along with that outdated information, there was information presented that wasn't even accurate for the time, such as the portrayal of the Hell Creek Formation in the first episode where the Tyrannosaurus Rex lived. The Hell Creek Formation, much like in Walking with Dinosaurs, was portrayed as kind of a volcanic landscape. That is, of course, not accurate. The Hell Creek Formation was more like the Florida Everglades in the way that it was more like a wetland with swampy environments and tropical plants and everything to that effect. Or the pronated wrists. This was a big problem in early dinosaur documentaries, in which they would have their wrists kind of facing downward, which was not possible. Their arms simply did not have that kind of articulation. They would be facing inward, which, of course, we see that a lot in modern day dinosaur documentaries. So we are moving forward. Or the overall design of the Albertosaurus, which I think is mainly due to budget rather than just plain out ignorance. It's literally just a reskinned T-Rex. But that's not to say that there aren't any accuracies at all. This show actually has quite a few. To name a few, we could focus on the Arthropleura, which is correctly shown to be a vegetarian. The overall portrayal of mammoths, the way they look and their behavior is pretty much spot on, and honestly a really good portrayal of those animals. The way that the Smilodons are presented to have gone extinct holds up to what we currently believe. If you're an overly specialized hunter to larger prey, once those larger prey items go extinct, you're definitely going to go extinct. So that definitely does hold up. Or the way that the Parasaurolophuses produce sound. They mentioned in the show that they use their head crests to amplify their sound and create these large honking noises. That does hold up to what we currently believe. These are only a few examples, but there's plenty more that I could probably go on and on with each of these little sections that I have. But next we'll go ahead and talk about the visual effects. This includes CGI and of course the practical effects that are used in the show. Impossible Pictures did a great job with this one. The CGI, I feel, still holds up upon rewatch. It looks incredibly great. I mean, obviously you can tell that it is CGI because it is a little bit dated, but the designs of the animals looks really fluid. There is quite a bit of reused animation here and there, but again, I account that to budget more than anything. And all in all, it all seems really seamless. This mixed in with the practical effects makes for a very good, grounded show. The practical effects look really good. They have a mixture of some animatronics here and there with some puppets, depending on what kind of animal they are portraying with a close-up shot. Much like the Jurassic Park films, the first three, and Walking with Dinosaurs, they used animatronics and puppets for the close-up shots, and this definitely does help in selling the audience that these animals are actually there, and they were used to great effect. My absolute favorite is when Terrence is having surgery done and is being sewn up after being attacked by his sister. The entire sequence looks incredibly well done, and it's really nice that the actors have something to work with while shooting these important scenes. So basically what I think, the effects, that while being still from 2006, are not perfect, of course, but they look incredible even to this day, and I think hold up really well. And finally, we will talk about the entertainment factor. Is this an entertaining show? Will you go into it and have a good time? Absolutely 100% yes. And a lot of that goes to Nigel Marven. Nigel Marven is, of course, a wildlife adventurer, TV personality who loves animals, and honestly loves prehistoric animals as well, which helps in this sort of show. His enthusiasm and his basic know-how that he brings to the screen every time just helps sell the ideas that these animals are actually here, and this is something that he is genuinely going on a mission to do. I especially love when he actually gets to interact with the animals, like Martha the mammoth with the giant kind of puppet. I think it was like a levee system used for the mammoth. When he gets to interact with her, that is very well done. Or the amphibian that he finds in the Carboniferous is just incredible. The way that it moves and the way that he holds it and works with it, it looks extremely well done. And not just him, Bob the park keeper or Suzanne the vet, they bring a lot of great personality and, again, help ground the series, and they do a really well job with it. And I especially admire that this show doesn't just go to the times of dinosaurs. They go to the Carboniferous, of course further back into the Cenozoic, and they show a wide array of different animals that isn't just focused onto dinosaurs. Of course they had T-Rex in the first episode. That was likely done to hook the audience, to let them know that this is a great show to watch, because of course everybody loves T-Rex. But their willingness to go to other areas and focus on other dinosaurs or prehistoric animals in general, I absolutely love. So yeah, all in all, this show is extremely fun, and you will get a lot of entertainment out of it. So in conclusion, you will get some facts from this. Not a lot, of course, it is outdated, but there is a lot of good information to get from it. A lot of facts that are still held up by today's standard. You won't be looking at a show that is too dated. The effects hold up really well. The camera work is very good. The landscapes look great. Everything looks absolutely great. So Prehistoric Park, almost 17 years later, how does it hold up? Holds up very well. I highly recommend watching it if you want to. I just 100% wish that there was a season 2 for this show. It always felt like that the ending had that kind of openness to, like, you know, if this performs well, we'll do a season 2. But unfortunately, I don't think that this show did perform too well. So I don't think that a season 2 was really ever on the table, which is incredibly unfortunate, because there's still a huge span of time that Nigel could go back to and a lot of new information that we could bring in. So, yeah, let's start rioting for a season 2 of Prehistoric Park with updated dinosaur models and prehistoric mammals, and go back to and feature some animals that weren't featured, maybe some aquatic animals or more pterosaurs or heck, Dimetrodon. But anyway, yes, you can absolutely watch this show, and it still holds up very well. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was a little bit longer, I think, depending on how it turns out after editing. But of course, it was a lot of fun to dive back into and return to this show that I still absolutely love. Huge part of my childhood was this show, so like diving into something like this is of course a lot of fun. So if you're wanting to, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I do this kind of content on this channel. Anything prehistoric goes. Any media, any books, or the real life science, it's all going to be covered here. So we have a good time here. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day.